welcome to this course on using Clip Studio Paint to draw and paint illustrations. In this lecture, I'm going to provide an overview of the course so you'll know whether you want to get the course or not and what you'll learn in it. First of all, this course is potentially for individuals new to drawing. Now, if you know about drawing, you can just skip the drawing sections. It's also for those new to digital drawing, specifically using Clip Studio Paint. That's what's going to be demonstrated, but the things that you'll learn can apply to digital drawing in general. It's also useful to people who are unfamiliar with Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to do a bit of a sales job and show you the features of this very cool software product. It's useful for anyone new to painting or new to digital painting. We're going to look specifically at that. And finally, for those that are unfamiliar with the illustration workflow, there's an order in which you do things, and we're going to talk about that in this course. So what will you learn in this course? You're going to learn the Clip Studio Paint Essentials. Now, I actually took a course. It was 6 hours on Clip Studio Paint, and it went through every feature within the thing. Kind of dry in a way, but also extremely informative. In fact, it was this course, and it was one of the better courses. I gave it a 5 stars that I've seen on Clip Studio Paint. It was just really got you through the fundamentals and how to use every feature and option in Clip Studio Paint. I recommend that you watch it. You're also going to learn how to draw, but more specifically how to draw digitally, and then how to paint your drawings to give them pop and a 3D look and form and depth. And then finally, we're going to look at the illustration workflow from sketching through inking to painting and shading and highlighting all the way to production. Now, what are the course requirements? You need to have a fairly modern computer. I wouldn't try to run Clip Studio Paint on an old computer. So I'd recommend at least an i5. You don't need a lot of power. And 6 gigabytes of memory would be nice. So it's kind of a standard computer. You need to have a copy of Clip Studio Paint Pro, or EX will do. I recommend Pro, and I'm actually going to talk in the early lectures of this course about what the differences are and which one you should purchase. And optionally, I'm saying now, a tablet. Now, a tablet is very handy when you're sketching and painting. It's not quite as handy, I think, for inking and production and all the setup and stuff like that. I use a mouse quite often. So you can do the entire course without a tablet. So, if you get Clip Studio Paint on sale for $29 and you don't have a tablet, that's what you're talking about that you're into here to take this course. Now, I'm going to demonstrate the use of Clip Studio Paint EX running on a beefy computer, an i7 with 16 gigabytes of memory. And it's running Windows 10, not Mac OS. And I'm going to be using a XP Pen Artist 15.6 display tablet. So it's one of those tablets that hooks to the computer, but it has a display in it so that I can see what I'm drawing on. And I'm going to talk about tablet choices in the course and why I chose this. Now, here's a course overview. After this introduction, we're going to look at the tools, the hardware, software, the computer, the tablet, and Clip Studio Paint that you need to put together. And I'm going to show you how to set them up so that they look and act the way that you like. Clip Studio Paint fundamentals are next, and we're just covering the fundamentals, the things that you really need to know to be able to illustrate in Clip Studio Paint. And then we're going to do some drawing fundamentals. I'm going to show you how to draw the basic shapes. And that's about all you need to know. If you don't know anything about digital drawing and stuff, is to watch the first 5 sections and you're ready to draw. In fact, I'm going to give you a project where I'm going to ask you to draw. Next, we're going to look at the drawing and painting workflow, and that's what we're going to go through. It begins with sketching. So you usually use a pencil for this, but you can use a pen if you want and draw very darkly because you're going to be able to tone that down later through digital graphics. And then you ink over it, so you ink the lines, and we're going to have a brief intermission where I ask for a review. Then in part 2, we're going to look at painting fundamentals, and then color flatting, which is just filling a solid color into the various regions of your image, and then painting over that and adding shading and highlighting to give it 3D form and depth and shininess and stuff like that. And then we're going to look at what to do with your backgrounds, either simple or complex backgrounds. And we're going to look at perspective rulers there and drawing in perspective. And then lettering and the balloons that go with it. So how to add text to your image and people speaking, speech and thought balloons. And finally, how to produce the finished product and distribute it to share with friends. I've got some additional fun tools to show you. And then we're going to go into the drawing and painting workshops where I demonstrate all of this more fully and finally have a conclusion. So that's the outline of the course. There's a lot of material to cover, so it's going to be a long course. But stick with it and you're going to learn a lot. And there's even more, because there was an original course to this that I just threw together quickly and threw out there. People didn't like it too much because it didn't have too much detail, but I have included the original course at the end of this one, and here are the sections. Many of the lectures have been replicated in the new 2019 version of this course that you're watching now. Now, I also want to point out that this course has specific features. So each section has an introduction that tells you what's going to be in the section, similar to this, and a conclusion, reviewing what was covered. It also has a workshop where I will show you the use of the tool and I will demonstrate everything that I covered in the section. And then there are section projects. So I'm going to assign work to you, or homework, that you should submit to the Q&A section of this course. So do images, do your illustrations, and then upload them as images to the Q&A section to share them and get praise from both me and your fellow students. And that's everything that I've got to say as far as the course. It's going to be very detailed and quite long, and I think you're going to learn a lot. So in the next lecture, I'm going to discuss why to use Clip Studio Paint. This is going to be a bit of a sales job, and I'll see you there.